accommodate on these days. But thank you very much, everybody in the grants committee for for letting us in on time. Hey, Jairus, you want to kick this off?
Hey, yeah. Let's bring Tessa up here before we do. See that she requested. Speak. Hey, what's up, Tessa? Oh,
Ernest is here in the audience, and Ernest is going to be streaming this demo. So this is a little different from our usual when we have in the water cooler. So it's a little new because obviously we're new to the amphitheater stages with the screen recording. So this is going to be a little bit of learning. Please do ask any questions like usual in the chat. And if you want to come up to the stage, I think there's a limit on the number of people who can come up. But I think don't hesitate if you have a question. And at the end of the demo, let's keep it open. Again, back to you, Jairus.
I see that a invite was sent to Tassa. Now we just got to get them up here. Kick this off with a introduction and get into some small talk before hopping into the demo. Hey, what's up, Tassa?
Hello.
Hey, how's everything going?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear now. Yes, how's everything going?
Good. Sorry, I think that my Wi-Fi was a bit weird there. Can you hear me fine now?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear. And that's all good. We're used to technical difficulties around here, so it's all good.
Great. All right. Awesome. Yeah, nice to meet you guys. My real name is Connor, and you might hear a dog in the background, so I apologize.
All right, it's all good. Yeah, excited to kick this off. I mean, you have a project that I'm really interested in because you're a decentralized exchange that pretty much offers everything that our favorite centralized exchanges does. So Vertex Protocol, you can use it for perpetuals, you can use it for limit orders, buy limit, sell limit, stop losses, take profits. So it's a way for you to actually trade on a DEX, like actually trade, because trading without a stop loss is gambling. So you can actually use Vertex to trade professionally.
Yeah, well, thanks for the intro. I'm just trying to set up my share screen, and I think I need to accept it. 1 second. System preferences. Let's see. Screens. Let's see.
What's coming in?
Okay, so sorry guys. I think I have to share or change the. Okay, sorry, I'm going to have to quit and reopen because I have to give access to Discord to share my screen. So I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys.
All right, that's okay. So, Salman, what's been going on with you recently? You saw any trades or anything? Any interesting trades you spotted recently?
I did actually. Yeah, Tessa's on the stage, so I'll let Tessa continue. But yes, we'll get back to that.
All right, cool. We'll get into that later.
Hey guys, can you see my screen now?
It is loading for me. See, it's loading.
Okay, let me know when you can see my my screen.
Okay, it's still loading.
It looks like it's previewed on the Amphitheater, so.
Yeah. I see it. It's online. It's just
we can see it.
Okay.
You guys can see.
I can see it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for the introduction. I appreciate that earlier. So yeah, Vertex. What are we and what are we building? So for those that haven't heard of us, that's okay. I'm happy to try to meet you guys now. What we're building is the name Vertex actually didn't originate like this, but it works out well. Is we're building a vertically integrated exchange, and so when I say that, you can think about like a lot of the DeFi stack and products that you're familiar with all into one application. And so you can trade spot the same way that you would swap assets on, say, Uniswap. You can trade futures, kind of like DYDX, but then you can also use our integrated money market for borrowing and lending, whether you are doing that to trade or to withdraw assets and use elsewhere. And so on today's demo, I'm going to kind of give you guys a walkthrough of the app, which will be our MVP product, which we should be launching in a couple months, and how to go and interact with the testnet. Right now we're on the Arbitrum Dorley testnet, so everything you see here, as much as I wish this was real, is fake money. And if you want to learn how to like kind of get the testnet funds and stuff, we're going to go all over that in this demo. I'm just going to pull up 1 second. And another thing is, yes, so I'll just talk about the architecture and kind of the design of Vertex quickly before we jump into it. So as mentioned before, we do have an order book, so you can place and trade with limit orders. So if you're worried about slippage, definitely the product for you. However, the way that we've designed Vertex is we have a hybrid approach. So we have both an order book and an AMM. In the future, you don't see that up here right now. But in the future, we will have a pools page as well, where you can actually LP into spot and eventually perp markets. The reason why we're building this is because we're big fans of decentralization and we want to transition to a fully decentralized product in the future. But we also want to support the best trading experience possible. And what that meant was building a really fast and performant order book that could compete with centralized exchanges. So while the order book is off-chain and matches off-chain, everything is done on-chain still, settlement is still on-chain, but we do have that really cool hybrid approach with the AMM, which will allow you to like LP into the order book as well. So hopefully that wasn't too much. We'll kind of jump into the demo now. And in terms of links and stuff, I guess I can just share the links to the app afterwards. Is that the best way to do that? Yeah.
Yeah, we can share in the chat here.
Cool. Okay, so once you come to the app, you'll see something that will look similar to this without any numbers. It'll prompt you to connect your wallet. So something like this. You'll come here, you'll connect your wallet. You can connect with MetaMask, Wallet Connect, Coinbase, or you can use Socials, which is powered by Web3 Auth. Once you connect, you will then go and move forward, connect, boom. As I mentioned before, you're going to need testnet ETH, which you can use the Dorley faucet by Alchemy to receive some. Once you do that, you're going to have to mint some testnet assets to deposit into Vertex. The same way that you would have to deposit assets into, for example, DYDX or any other exchange, you have to do that with Vertex, but it's always non-custodial. So you're depositing into the Vertex smart contracts. And what that allows you to do is to take out leverage and use that as margin. So basically what you're going to do is come over to the faucet here. You're going to select an asset, say USDC, and you're going to press mint tokens. Once you do this, you just wait for this, confirm, and then you're going to receive some testnet USDC. Once that is done and confirmed on chain, you're going to want to go back to your portfolio and you're going to want to deposit. Now you can deposit in multiple ways, which we'll go over after. But for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to do this. You can also try minting BTC, like wrapped ETH or USDC. It's really up to you. For the sake of this demo, I did USDC. You'll select USDC, select how much you want to deposit. Before you deposit, you're going to have to approve the deposit or the use of USDC. So you're going to then go and sign that transaction. A little notification letting you know that the approval is pending. And once that is done, which should only take a couple of seconds, it'll then prompt you to deposit the assets. So approval successful, great. So then you will then go and deposit the assets, sign the transaction once more, and pretty fast. So now, before we start, we're just going to do a little bit of like app navigation. By no means is there a ton of pages or anything. We're going to be adding, like I mentioned, but I still want to make sure you guys all know how to navigate your way around Vertex. And so there's three kind of like, I guess, top navigation pages. You have portfolio, spot, and perpetuals. You also have the more. Portfolio is pretty much, as you can assume, how you can see what's going on with your account, see what it's worth, also your health, and then you can view things like your perp positions and the totals, your balances, your open orders, your account history, such as trades, deposit withdrawals, perp settlements, and any liquidations. Hopefully that table remains empty. And then also, this is just a testnet thing, but the faucet. You can also see most of this just on the overview, just as a quick glance. So for example, before this demo, I deposited some BTC and some ETH, and then I just deposited USDC with you guys. So you'll see that under your assets. If I had a borrow open, I would see this here. And if I had a perp position, I would see that there. And then quickly also, before we jump into anything, because we thought they would just get. However, whenever there is like a very, I guess, important tooltip or something that we feel like you might really want to know, we've added a little eye here just to let you know that you should check something out there. So yeah, and then some other customization that you can do on the portfolio. If you only want to see like your health or your positions, you can hide this stuff. You can also close this and open that. Now on to spot. So as mentioned, this is where you'll be able to trade spot and any spot markets we have, and perpetuals, which is where you'll be able to trade any perpetual contracts that we have. One more thing here. So at Vertex, we're trying to really build, and we're really focused on user experience. We want to compete with centralized exchanges. We feel a lot of the DEX landscape is missing a lot of kind of the features that centralized exchanges bring to users. And so we've kind of introduced something called the control center. So the same way that you can click on it to open anything up, eventually we'll have also a convert feature here, so you can kind of do a quit swap. And then we have other actions such as borrow assets, repay borrows. And if some of you guys are familiar with kind of our roadmap, we'll also have a native bridge and a fiat on-ramp partner right here. So making sure that everything's kind of, as much as we're like a vertically integrated exchange on the product side, we also want a very streamlined user experience, which means having kind of all the tools at your fingertips. And I know I'm going into a lot of the features right now before we start trading. I appreciate you guys bearing with me, but one other thing is this account dropdown. So what you'll see here is basically, since Vertex is like a leverage trading platform, you want to be able to manage your risk and see kind of what's going on with your account at all times, we figured. And so if you're on the spot or on the perpetuals and you're trading, but you don't want to keep checking tables, or you want to like close and only see the chart, we've introduced something called the account pins. So basically, no matter where you are, you can open this up and see kind of the main values of your account, such as like what it's worth, your assets, your borrows, your perp P&L. You can see your free collateral, your dollars until liquidation, your margin usage, your leverage. So I'll just go up and pin some of that stuff there, and you can see this at all times pretty much throughout the app. And so we thought this was pretty handy for monitoring your kind of account. All right, cool. So that's kind of a rough overview of the navigation and what's going on. Now we're going to jump into spot trading. So as mentioned on Vertex, you can trade both spot and perp markets. Most of spot trading, something that we learned is not everyone really understood or really wanted even margin spot. Some of them just wanted to be able to swap. And so we introduced this feature where you can basically trade with or without leverage. So by turning leverage on, what this allows you to do is auto borrow against your margin. Also another note, all of our spot markets at the moment will be trading against USDC. And so when you turn leverage on and you are buying, that means that you are able to borrow USDC to buy more of an asset that you might not be able to buy. So for example, right now, my balance is 213 USDC, but since I have leverage on, I can actually borrow a lot more than that. But for the sake of this, we're going to be trading with leverage off. I'm just going to refresh my page because I think there's something going on with the back end. Okay, when it comes to trading, as mentioned, you have limit and market orders. That's why I entered price. Makes sense. Leverage on, when you enter price, you'll be able to see the max borrow. But we're just going to do market for now. Cool. So when trading with leverage, if you want to not risk borrowing any assets that you don't want to end up with, you can just decide to put this off. If you want to trade and you want to auto borrow, you can turn this on. Pretty easy. When it is on, it will tell you your max and your balance, but then it also tells you the max borrow. So if you're about to trade this much, say, show you, okay, you're going to borrow. Oh, you're not going to borrow there. You're going to borrow this USDC, and it's going to cause health damage, basically. Which we're going to discuss this in a second. You're trading a market order. You also have the ability to set slippage, and so our auto is 0.5. But if you want to trade something else, you can just choose. Say what slippage you want. For the purpose of this, we will do auto. So trade, buying some ETH because we're bullish, and when it comes to trade details, you have three kind of options for manipulating the trade or choosing the size of the trade. You can use a slider. You can enter in the amount of the asset you want to buy, or as I mentioned, you can use the slider, or you can enter in the total USDC that you want to spend. And then once you do that, so we're going to do this for the purpose of leverage. So once you say we're on leverage right now, you're trading and you're borrowing, you enter a trade around 20% of your max leverage. You probably noticed that there's a little something kind of changes here, right? So 0, it's full, and then if I go and do this, it starts to change. What this is we've created this thing called health check. So before you enter a trade, you can actually see the impact that trade will have on all of your health metrics, such as like your account value, your margin usage, your dollars until liquidation, and then also your leverage. You can also go and see the trade summary, which will show you an estimated price, your trading fees, which is your maker and taker, your ETH balance and the change that will happen. So going from 20 to 298, USDC balance, and then the total size of the trade. So we're going to go and place a trade now. I'm pressed by ETH. It'll let me know that, okay, yeah. And then you'll see that right away that was placed. And you'll see that the notifications, so we read notifications on chain. And so what just happened is the notification came up right away, but you know probably that the change in the balance happened also immediately. That is because it filled right away, and Vertex is really fast like that. However, sometimes the notification, the actual filled notification might be a bit slower since we read the data and it comes from on-chain. Now we'll place a limit order. So we'll say I want to buy at 1650 and I want to buy 10 ETH or 1 ETH. Sorry, I don't have enough USDC. I want to buy 10 ETH and I'm going to place this order. So now I'm placing a limit order, and you will see that I have an open order here placed. If I want to cancel it, all I need to do is press cancel, but yes, now it's sitting here. You can also see the history of my last trade. And yeah, so while the portfolio is super helpful for monitoring and managing your account, so is just trading on here, and you can see pretty much everything as well. Before we jump into perpetuals, I also want to mention that we really want to make the trading experience very customizable to your liking, because every trader is different. And so, as you can see right now, the console is on the left side. We know that some of you guys want it on the right side. So you just go to settings and choose the right here. You can make that. You can also decide to see the order book or not see the order book, and you can decide to see just the chart or also see the table. And in the future, if you have a lot of open orders or history or balances for some reason, you can also decide just to see the tables. So yeah, really focused on trying to make this experience super customized to what you want. And yeah, cool. So we'll jump into perps now. So trading perps is pretty similar to spot in terms of the UX. The main difference here is you don't have a leverage on or off. Perps are by default, you're trading with leverage. And since Vertex is cross-margin, which we can get into after or a bit later if anyone has questions, you're trading perps against your margin. It's not like USDC only perps. It's not like USDT perps on most exchanges. You're trading against the value of your account. So what option you do have here, though, is you can set your max leverage for that trade. And so what this kind of allows you to do, so right now it's max 8. For MVP launch, we'll have max net leverage per day. We're going to see what this kind of does. So right now I have $400,000 of free collateral. Actually, for simplicity, we're just going to go with $100. Say I had $100 of free collateral. If I change this to 5x, what that would mean is that my max position is actually $500. If I change it to 8x, then it would be $800 and vice versa. What you can do kind of is when you're setting your trade leverage, you could come here and see, and it will tell you your max position. Obviously, the more leveraged you are, the more risky. But this basically allows you to artificially limit the max amount of capital or free collateral that you use. And then, yeah, right now we're on a limit. If you go to market, it'll tell you your max position. If you go to limit and you set a price, it'll also tell you your max position. So right now we're going to basically the price at a second while it loads the trading. So we're going to set the price at 50. And the same way that you can trade on spot, you can either use the slider or you can use the total. You'll do a slider here, and you can check your health, your trade summary. Okay, cool. And we are going to press long ETH, place in an order, and here you'll see how fast Vertex actually is. Sign, and position should be filled. Or sorry, we're going to do a market order now. So we will place a market order right here. And right away, it is filled like that. So yeah, now you see your active open position and you see your open orders. You can monitor it so you can see the P&L, so you can see the position size and the notional value. So 50 ETH and $102,000. You can also filter. So if I had multiple positions, all you have to do is press on this and it'll sort by ascending or descending. Give your mark price and your entry price, your P&L, your funding. and then the amount of free collateral that is being used to keep that position open, and how much margin or what margin percentage basically it's contributing to. And then if you want to close this position, all you have to do is press close, choose how much you want to press close, and there you go. Okay, and that should be closing. Not sure why it didn't close, but we'll close. Oh, it was a partial fill. Okay, so bear in mind, one thing you're going to notice, guys, while you're testing is that we don't really have any liquidity on Vertex right now because it is on testnet. And so because of that, and our order types are fill or kill, the actual, like, a market order might not fully fill, and so that's what you're going to end up with half of the just note that it's because of the liquidity and you can know notification. Testing out our testnet app, and there's a couple other things I wanted to show you guys too. So when it comes to Vertex, you can actually use Vertex the same way that you would be able to use like Aave or another money market app. Because of our integrated money market at like the base layer, anytime you deposit assets, whether you're depositing them to trade spot or you're depositing them as collateral to trade perps, you're going to start to automatically earn yield on them because other people are borrowing them to trade and to borrow. And so that's why, as you see in your balances, you'll have a deposit APY and you'll have a borrow APY. You can also borrow assets to use them elsewhere, the same way, as I mentioned, like Aave. So you would come here, you have the deposit and trade buttons, but then you also can click on here and you can decide to borrow or withdraw. Just showing you guys, if you do want to withdraw and test that out, we'll kind of do that right now. So we will go and say, okay, I want to draw some ETH. I want to draw 50% of mine is with the health check just to make sure that you guys are aware kind of what this means to your account. And then, yeah, pretty easy to withdraw. You just press withdraw and it'll let you know that it's successful. And if you wanted to borrow USDC, or say you wanted to deposit staked ETH or something that we add as collateral, and you want to withdraw borrowed USDC against that, you would just come here and press borrow. You can enter how much you want to borrow. You could do like a max borrow, but that's pretty risky. So we'll just do, say, I don't know, $5,000 for simplicity's sake. You would then go and press borrow and withdraw. That you would withdraw, and there you go. So now I have USDC to use. Where first I have borrow balance, and to borrow balance we want to use to repay. I found with some apps they didn't have this kind of to repay. You kind of have to manually, okay, I'm down or I'm borrowing this from USDC or go deposit. We wanted to make it easier, so all you have to do is press deposit. You can choose how to repay, whether it's through deposit or convert. Convert allows you to use balance, positive balance, or zero balance. So if I want to repay my USDC, I would have to sell some BTC. I want to repay all of it. So it's telling me, okay, I'm clearing that. Great. Now, basically what I'm doing is I'm buying USDC, or I'm buying BTC by selling, or I'm selling BTC to repay my USDC here. And there we go. I just repaid it. Super easy. Cool. So yeah, that's pretty much everything you can do at the moment. As mentioned, we are going to be adding some future products and features over the next couple weeks and months. But I hope that you guys kind of enjoyed this demo. One thing I'm going to mention is the health here. So on Vertex, we offer margin trading. So your margin is spread across both your assets and which is like your collateral, but then also your perp positions and your P&L. So you can think of like your portfolio as your margin that you can then go and use to take out leverage or to borrow or trade. And what this is here is this is the health bar. It basically tells you we've had conflicting views on how we should kind of model this, and I think at the moment this one makes the most sense. But I'm all ears to if you guys have other suggestions. But right now it's kind of similar to a battery in the sense that like 100% charged, you're great, you're good to go. But as you start to lose charge, it gets kind of riskier. Fully not charged and dead. You can think about the health bar on Vertex kind of like dollars until liquidation. If you reach this point, you are available for liquidation. And we have these different kind of metrics here. So this is medium risk, high risk, and low risk. And it will tell you what that means for your portfolio. And so the health check that you kind of have seen me open and close is just a mini version of this. Same with this here. So you can see it at all times. Cool. So I think that's pretty much it, guys. Hopefully that was helpful and useful and you guys enjoyed that. We're really dedicated to building the best trading and kind of user experience possible out there. And so I'm going to share my Telegram and also my email. If anybody here is into kind of trading and kind of wants to get deeper, I'd love to kind of connect and talk and hear about some of your ideas and then more so the pain points that you've had in DeFi and I guess like how we can build a better product. So yeah, thanks Bankless DAO for letting us kind of share this and I hope you guys appreciated it. Hey Jarvis, I think is that good to go?
Hey Jairus, I think maybe we lost Jairus. Hey, thanks Dasa. I think that was a great demo. I want to check if Anointing.
Yeah, Jim, that's a very amazing product. And just a quick question. So it was a good one. The question is there going to be something like a P2P section of it? For instance, so I live in Nigeria, and there's some kind of regulations around cryptocurrency. So for you to be able to get fiat, you need to do some P2P on Binance. So get local merchants transfer fiat to you, and then you transfer your crypto to them via escrow in Binance. So I just wanted to know if there's going to be a feature like that as well in this this product.
Yeah, thanks for your question. At the moment, we do not have any plans for P2P marketplace. That requires more of a centralized entity handling bank accounts and stuff like that. And we're taking the decentralized route. But I mean, it's definitely a cool thing to think about for sure.
Hey, are you guys able to hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I just had to refresh the browser. But yeah, some things I wanted to highlight before getting into some questions I had was I like the fact that you had question marks over certain terminology that people may not be aware of, which is important so that people can understand the linguistics of trading, especially like when I got into trading and got into Web3, I didn't know much about puts and like added money orders and things of that nature. So it's nice that you offer that feature on the site. And I like that you could chart too. I like that you have trading view charts on the platform as well. And yeah, you can do all your charting right there on the platform. That's pretty nice.
For sure. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and so we got Crypto Dad. Must have come up. Let's get crypto data up here.
Yeah, thank you for the demo. So I have a question about trying to understand the project better. So you mentioned that you do not use EMM, right? Use order book, but would that require a market maker for a protocol? And who will be your market maker for that?
Yeah, good question. So I that for that to our market or anything like that. I'm sure announced in the coming future. We have completed a relationship with great partners, and we're active to market makers. But the best part about an order book, right, compared to an AMM, is that you don't need that amount of TVL or anything like that because you have better capital efficiency with limit orders.
Got it. Thank you. Yeah. So, if you use market maker, would that put the decentralized, purpose in jeopardy? So, if the market maker could dominate the market, right? So, if you really want to do that, so I wonder what's your take on that?
Yeah, that's another good question. To be honest with you, we are putting in a lot of kind of guards and safety nets when it's like users and like match position sizes and stuff like that. But they won't be treated like everything will be transparent, and they won't be treated any differently than any other retail user. And so I don't think you have anything to worry about that.
Got it. Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, one other question I have is how do you bring order books on chain?
Order book is off chain. Should I mention that at this? That's a great question. Ago, we were building an on-chain version of our order book, but with even the most gassed optimization on arbitrum or Ethereum, it's just not really possible. It's too gas intensive to be placing thousands of different orders on chain. So we took the off-chain approach for the order book to be able to compete and give users that trading experience with a actual goal in the future to go on chain. But I think that will come when technology and blockchain kind of solutions continue to scale. And we're kind of starting to see that, right? So I don't think that it's really feasible right now on EVM, at least to my knowledge. But that's not to say in the future.
Got you. And then how it's handled now with the order books, do you have to use an oracle of some sort?
Yeah, so we have, so there are two prices on the trading UI that you'll see. You'll see kind of the last price, which is the price that is currently trading on the Vertex order book. And then you'll also see a mark price, which is the price that we use from the Stork Oracle, which is a very highly performant Oracle. Liquidations and P&L and also account value is all based on the mark price or that Oracle price.
Okay, cool. And another question that I have, so I'm more than likely I'm gonna definitely ask this during the AMA on Wednesday after watching this demo. It sparked this question was can you import any token, like pretty much like, you know how you go on Uniswap and you import a token from CoinGecko or something like that? Can you do the same thing on Vertex? And then if you do that, can you actually short that token too if you wanted to? Like, could you import it? Like, for an example, there's
interesting question. I think I know where you're going. So the answer is no. So the way that you can kind of use an AMM and like port the token and see there's a contract and do that. For Vertex, it's all margin trading. So we actually have to add that product. When I say product, we have to add that asset, which is a spot product, to Vertex as collateral, which means that we have to give it a weighting such as a maintenance health, an initial health, and all these kind of risk parameters. And so you can't just come in and kind of like add a contract and then start trading it. We actually have to add and make sure that the right risk parameters are in place for it. But once we do, then you can trade it. We have pretty ambitious goals with how many kind of different markets we want to add by the end of the year. So hopefully we will. We won't be covering, I think, your wildest dreams of different projects, but we will be having a lot of different markets, both on the spot and perps, available.
Okay, I get it. So it's like whatever tokens are available for perps, that's what you could short at that point.
Yes, that's true. But what makes
my wildest dreams? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
All right, yeah. So my wildest dreams here was that I could pretty much see a shit coin that went up like, let's say a couple 100%. It's going down, so that'd be an opportune time to short it. It's just like a lot of on all centralized exchanges, they don't really offer that many. I was gonna say shit coins, but yeah, centralized exchange had plenty of those. But I'm talking about like really low market cap coins. They may not be listed there, or like a coin that people in the know within like Web3 may know of, but it may not be listed on KuCoin, for an example, and I might not be able to short it there, or it might not be, they probably don't have a perpetual contract for it, rather, but it'll be, the way I pictured it was I can import something that I pretty much have a strong feeling is gonna, come up and down soon, import it and short it.
That's a cool idea for that's something to keep in the back pocket for sure.
I mean, DJing stuff.
We also want to make sure that the community gets involved with like choosing what markets to add. So maybe that's like finding a way to involve Bankless DAO and kind of what perp markets we should add, and doing weekly votes and stuff. But we'll definitely get you guys involved in that.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I'd love to take that further and get the community involved and pitch some ideas. And you mentioned too, you're going to be sharing your Telegram. Yeah, please do. We'd love to keep up with you and discuss trading and just share future ideas and introduce you to like projects that would make sense to collaborate with, things of that nature, and look up other projects that are coming up with solutions that could be of service to you.
Awesome. I'm going to share my my Telegram right here. It is 1 second. That's my Telegram, and my email is this. If anyone wants to reach out, feel free to. Happy to do like a one-on-one and go through the product and hear your ideas. I mean, the best way to build a good user product is really to learn from the users ground up, and that's what we're trying to do. So yeah, feel free to reach out. Thank you guys for jumping on. Really appreciate Bankless DAO for hosting this, and yeah, thanks, Jairus.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. And great demo. And just added you on Telegram now. About to hit you up on there.
Awesome. Cool, guys.
All right. Thank you. And thank you,
Cheers,
everyone.